Ready?
I reckon.
That's what I said. Alright, y'all, what's up? It's been a long time since you all have seen anything from us. Me and Jordan are wanting to make a video today talking about season recap from last year, turkey season this year, plans for this year, some new spots, and just anything going forward from now.
No equipment.
No equipment too. We just want to talk about it. That's kind of like a little podcast, but I'll let Jordan get started on the topic of last season.
Last deer season was, from my perspective, just me, it was kind of rough. As you all seen in Kentucky's opener, me and Austin went over there, and I ended up harvesting a good mature doe. That was our first video we had out on the channel. It was really not the best video, because we honestly didn't have the better camera equipment with us. Zach and Keegan had it in their hands. As a team, as a whole, it was an awesome season. Not only did I harvest a doe in Kentucky, Zach did, and Austin also harvested one over there as well. And then, in West Virginia season, when we go to Kentucky, we really don't focus on a whole lot of bucks besides Zach. Zach does, because that's where he, permanently lives at. But our bucks, we mainly focus on are in West Virginia. We came back over here, after hunting Kentucky, killing those does and stuff. We came back home to West Virginia, and Austin and Keegan both harvested awesome deer off of a piece of private that we got permission to hunt off of a really good friend of ours. You'll end up seeing him this year. We had to kind of talk the camera shyness out of him, but we came back over, like I said, and Austin and Keegan harvested those deer. But before that, we mainly try to focus on WMA properties during early season, all the way up to about mid-October. And during that time, spot stalking those WMA properties, they are that's a totally different game than hunting out of a tree stand. I'll be honest, I like it better. I don't know why. I just like it. I love it, actually. We had plenty of opportunities last year while we were spot stalking. I had amazing encounters, and I just didn't feel comfortable taking the shot, or it was just in a screwed up situation where we were just covered up in deer and had a lot of eyes on us. You couldn't move. Yeah, we were definitely covered up in deer a lot. There was one scenario last year. I was almost full draw on an 8-point. He was a bench down from us in a valley field, and I'm not joking. We had a spike walk within 2 steps of us. Like, me and Austin literally could have reached out and grabbed him by the nose. That's how close he was. And then, as that was going on, we had 3 does walking 20 yards from us to our right, up the valley field. It was just a screwed up situation.
It was fun though.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was awesome. You could hear that deer breathing and everything. It was awesome. Just an awesome encounter. We had plenty of them like that last year as well, especially spot stalking like that. There was awesome encounters. I know from Keegan's part of it, he had awesome encounters. All of us did. But I'll let Austin kind of touch on one of the better encounters that we had, and it was him in the shooter's seat at that time.
Yeah, so to start off the year, we were spotting and stalking a whole lot. A lot of the deer didn't move into that piece of private until later on in the year, so early on, we were just trying to just make it happen. Having the time, we could get out, walk around, spend, the day, just an all day event, in the hills, just whatever we needed to do. Missed the biggest deer I would have killed this far. Probably about 140-inch 9-point. If I
was a giant.
I mean, he was a stud. Me and Jordan, it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the day. It was hot, 80, 85 degrees. Jordan was actually taking a nap. And, well, I'm kind of in and out of it. When I hear a grunt, I really think I'm dreaming, but I'm not sure if I was. I didn't know. It's just kind of weird to hear that, like being 80-some degrees out and it's midday.
You wouldn't expect a buck to be cruising those benches like that.
Because, it's just the sun's beating on that valley field all day long. There's no cover. Well, anyways, I kind of opened up my eyes and I'm just laying there, and then I throw a rock and hit Jordan in the head and wake him up, scare him to death. But he got up. And as soon as I woke him up, that deer grunted again and he heard it. I was like, Jordan, did you hear that? He's like, yeah. That's saying something for him to hear.
Yeah,
because
for me to hear something, that's saying a lot, because, while we're in the hills, I'm Austin's eyes and he's my ears. That's really why you see us hunting together a lot, because I'll be honest with you, I can't hear a daggone thing.
I can't see it.
Austin can't see nothing. So
at a distance.
Yeah, at a distance, he's pretty.
Wow.
Close up, he's good, but at a distance,
you might as well chalk it up. But anyways, well, man, we get up and we're getting antsy, we're getting fired up. This grunt was a deep grunt. Like, you just knew it was an older class deer. It wasn't, we're sitting there, I grab my bow, and I'm just waiting, I'm trying to listen if I can hear it. I can hear him up there about 2 benches up, which is probably about 80 yards, maybe 100. I can hear him up there literally thrashing on trees.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear him pawing the ground.
He was tearing it up.
And all of a sudden, he pops down, 3 benches below us?
Like, in a matter of no time. And we honestly, be honest with you, we heard it stop, and, we didn't expect him to drop like that, and we didn't know that he was dropping down, that we would even have a chance at it, until Austin kind of got on one knee and kind of poked his head up. And he seen his hind end going down the other bench onto the one below us.
And when we had Keegan a couple benches up above us, just watching over us, and we had radios, and at the time Keegan was hollering at me on the radio, telling me what was going on, whenever he seen the deer, blah, 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 and like, radios lost communication, and there's no phone service up there. So at the time, it was just at that time, whenever Keegan's like, the deer's on the bench below you, you all need to get to where you can shoot. And then by the time he said that, the radios died, and it was just me and Jordan from there. I'm not gonna say I done well in the situation, but I also choked. But it happens, like in an encounter like that, and I'm talking, the biggest deer I have shot this far, or shot at this far. I just kind of just went numb for a minute and just went dummy mode.
I was nervous for him. I was scared to death for him, to be honest with you. But
I had a lot of things. I was just hesitant of making the decisions that I should have done, because if I would have done them, it would have worked out for me better.
And keep in mind, this deer was walking down that bench at a good steady pace.
Yeah,
he wasn't running, but he was at a good steady pace going down the bench. So you're making it happen. You're making it happen. Just fast decisions and just honestly a messed up situation.
Go out there, hit the rangefinder. It says 60 yards. I dial my sight down to 60, draw back, shoot. Left and right's money. Jordan will vouch, but I'll say this: I think the rangefinder picked up a limb in front of him, and it went right underneath him. Left and right. It looked good. Like the whole shot just looked good. I just think it was just misjudged yards. I think it was off by like at least 5 yards. But I don't know. The deer also was kind of. He wasn't really skittish, but whenever he heard the bow go off, he kind of, 60 yards and he hears the bow go off, the deer has a lot of time to react to it. Opposed to being in a tree stand 20 yards right below you. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was an awesome encounter. I'll never forget that, because that was a good hunt. Seen a lot of deer.
Very good hunt.
Now let's talk about Dimples. The deer, if you ain't checked out the video, it's on our channel. Shot this deer at 5 yards, and it was a fun hunt, man. Like, I'll never forget it. I almost didn't go hunting that day because I was by myself. I didn't want to have to deal with the video and by myself and all that good jazz. I was at a local gas station eating a rack of ribs. This is before, but before I got to stand, I was just sitting there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my camo. I'm gonna take my bow. I'm gonna take everything I got, and I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna have me a rack of ribs because I was craving some ribs. Well, Keegan happens to stop by, and I was talking to him like, man, you think I should hunt? Because he couldn't go because he was doing something for his job at the time, his new job. I was like, you think I should go hunt? He's like, man, I would. I don't know why you wouldn't. We sit there and talk, and we were talking about places I could go, and in my heart, my mind was telling me to go to the Piece of Private. So what I do, I ate, hung out with him a little bit, went to the Piece of Private. I get up there, man, that place is tore slap up. I mean, there's new scrapes everywhere. There's new rubs up there the size of my quad. The deer have just been in there like crazy. I get up there, man, I'm excited. Check a camera. I pull a card. I climb up in the stand because there's no service up there, so you can't run a cell cam. I mean, they ain't a licking service anywhere up there.
A 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And man, I get up there. I was about to just pull out the card reader. I dropped the card.
It's still laying up there.
It's still laying up there. I couldn't tell you where it's at. So I was pretty upset about that because I wasn't in there for quite some time. And I was really excited because I knew there'd been deer in there. Like, it was just tore slap up. The scrapes were, wild. Big old rubs everywhere. Trees bent over. I mean, it was just, I knew there's been bucks in there active. Well, sure enough, I don't really know. I think it was about 4 in the evening, 5 or something. And I finally hear him get up and I hear him start making scrapes. I never laid eyes on the deer though until he got within 60 yards of me. I caught a glimpse of his rear end, and then the first time I laid eyes on him was whenever he made the last scrape, and you could see on the video he was about 55 yards from me. At that time, whenever I seen him making a scrape, his head was up, he's looking at branch, and I was like, man, it's the stud. And I couldn't even see the screen in the camera. I was just going off just by looking at just looking at the lens on the camera where it'd be and where I just expected the deer to, where he's walking at. Just hoping he'd capture it.
It turned out perfect.
And it turned out perfect. He came in 5 yards straight below me, and he ran 40 yards, and that was it for the harvest of that hunt. November the 8th, me and Keegan go back in the same stand. It's a good morning. It's pretty. It's about 40, probably about 40 something, about 43 degrees, I believe.
A lot colder than the day you shot yours.
Yeah. We was going to hunt the next day after that because we got in and out after getting my deer in and out of there. I mean, it was quiet. We wasn't in there long. It was just, we were going to go in there and hunt the next morning.
I think it only took us honestly, once we got to the bottom of the stand, it took us only 20 minutes to recover this one here.
Yeah.
It was fast. It was a fast deal. We were quiet about it because we knew there were still deer in there like crazy.
Yeah. Well, man, can go up in there and we hunt. Man, it's another just great memory and just a good hunt. Like, it's just something that's just almost like something like my hunt and then his hunt was like something you just see on the Outdoor Channel. Like, it was just crazy. His deer comes in on the bench down the holler behind us. I first seen him. He's coming in with his ears laid back. I mean, he's bristled up. He's walking sideways. I mean, he's ready to fight. He was a very aggressive buck that day. To me, it just seemed like he was aggressive because he had a lot of scars on him, even after Keegan had harvested. I mean, he was just looked like he was a
face
fighter.
Was scarred up.
Yeah, he's a good. Keegan gives me the grunt call. I throw 2 grunts at him. Keegan snort wheezes. He's locked down with the doe down in the holler, and he just like lit up. He came downwind, walked on that little flat right around to us. Keegan shot him at 15 yards straight down, and he ran 20 and rode 20. And that right there summed it up for me and Keegan. Zach, on the other hand, he hunted hard all year long in West Virginia. He passed probably, I'd say, 7-8 bucks this year.
Oh yeah, Zach did.
He'd be hunting, sending me videos of the deer he's passing. He came full draw on a 140-inch 8-point this year. I'm talking stud.
Oh yeah, thick, big deer.
And before that deer had walked in, there was a spike that came in first, and it was like last flight, crunch time. Zach draws back, shooting that back tension release. He gets it to click, and by the time he gets it to click, he realizes that spike's in front of the 8-point, so he has to let down, and that was it for that hunt. He continued hunting afterwards, very little because it was basically the end of the season, and I mean that was his season basically. He had a lot of good opportunities. He could have killed some nice solid bucks, deer that I would possibly shoot if I was in his situation. But I'm gonna let Jordan touch base on the upcoming season.
Well, before we touch on the upcoming season, I'm gonna talk about turkey season.
Oh yeah, turkey season.
That was it was tough. I'll be honest with you. It was the roughest turkey season that I think I've ever had.
Ain't no doubt about that.
And I'm telling you right now, when I tell you the turkeys did not want to cooperate, they did not want to cooperate. I mean, it was, you'd have them fired up as soon as they hit the ground in the morning, and it seemed like they was going to cooperate with you, and then in the blink of an eye, they were turning away, running from you, It was, I mean, me and Austin had a couple of good encounters. We was on birds all year.
It wasn't from a lack of effort.
No, it wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, we promise you that. We put many miles on the Danner boots this year. There ain't no doubt about that. I guarantee you that we walked over 200 miles this turkey season. I promise you.
They ain't no trail left on them babies.
No, they ain't no
new pair.
Yeah, we had to buy new boots in 2 months of use.
No exaggeration. We honestly probably walked 100 miles.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee.
definitely. There ain't no doubt. But yeah, man, it was just a very rough season. And a lot of people from this area will vouch that the turkeys haven't acted like this in a long time. I don't know what caused them to be like this. Our opinion, and I mean, we ain't no turkey gurus or anything like that. We ain't David Owens from the Penn Hottie Project or anything, But I mean, our opinion, it was the weather. It just screwed with them hard. But me and my girlfriend, I took her out. It was her first time ever turkey hunting, and we were walking down this road, on a piece of WMA, and big wide open field, and I caught a glimpse of 2 of them. Now, I know it's weird. I've never seen this before. Usually, you just see jakes together. You'll see 1 or 2 jakes running together. You never see really a longbeard, right together with another one. It's very rare. But I caught a glimpse of two heads out in the field, and I kind of got up on a little knoll on the right side of that road and glanced over onto them and noticed they were longbeards. And me and her ended up getting on our hands and knees and crawling probably within 70 yards of them. And while I was getting my gun ready, we were sighting in guns and stuff this year, getting them ready for the season. I ended up changing turkey loads. I ended up changing the choke, and I ended up changing my sight this year. Just trying to improve my gun to be able to shoot a longer distance. Although I love calling turkey into 20 yards, there's just some of those situations when you got to shoot 50, 60, 70 yards on one. But yeah. But I'll be honest with you. I knew that my gun could have done it. When looking back at it, I knew the gun could have killed it, but I just did not I didn't feel comfortable taking the shot at all. And that's a big thing that a lot of people, they'll pull up and shoot, even deer hunting with a bow. They don't really think it through to just think like, well, this might be in the way or this could happen. A lot of people don't think about that. So if your first gut instinct, you pull your weapon up onto an animal and you're about to take it, if your first gut instinct is, well, I might not be able to make the shot, don't take it. Don't take it at all, because then you're taking a chance on injuring that animal, never being able to find it again. And then like in a deer instance, in a buck, if you shoot it and say you hit straight in its shoulder blade and don't penetrate at all enough to kill it, that deer, it's gonna stun its growth. It's gonna hurt that deer.
Happened to me.
Yeah, it happened to Austin.
2018.
And
Shot a deer early season in Kentucky whenever I was living in Kentucky, and
stunned it.
yes, it did. The next year,
But the deer lived. I mean, the
deer lived.
It was fine. It was fine health wise, but you could tell in its growth.
He went from being 125-inch 8-point
being
to
less than 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll absolutely mess an animal up like that.
But the following year after that, he blew back up.
Mm.
So for the next, which is really, I'm glad that happened, because really it made me sick seeing that deer like that, because I know what deer it was whenever I seen him, because he still had the scar on his shoulder.
And we didn't stop looking for that deer until he showed back up on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked for weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, we didn't stop looking until he showed back up on camera, because that's how we are. We don't want to, we think we injured it, but it'll end up running a mile or 2 miles and dying somewhere, and we'll never find it or see it again. So, I mean, we looked all over, until it came back on camera, and then we was like, okay, he's fine. But we'll get back on subject here. I didn't take the shot. I could have made it happen, but I just didn't feel comfortable with it. Like I said, me and Austin had plenty.
I think there was, I think we had 3 or 4 encounters where we had turkeys just, 50, 60 yards just right down the hill or over at the top of the hill, and they just wouldn't come,
We couldn't get them. Yeah, we couldn't get them to commit.
They come to 50, 60, but we just couldn't get them to just commit to it.
Just right outside, I mean, we knew they was right there. You could hear them drumming, but they were just right outside or in a thicket.
Really, you just couldn't see them.
Just couldn't see, and they're smart like that too. I mean, they'll do that in a regular season, but this year was just it was jacked up.
They whooped us.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with it.
We got whooped.
Yeah, whooped ain't the word. I don't know, it was bad. But we tried shooting some videos in Tennessee too, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of public land down there to hunt. They have WMA properties just like we have here. And
you can't access the good WMA.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't access the good stuff unless you have a boat. And me and Austin, we went around looking at the WMA properties that we could access, and I'm telling you right now, this is no exaggeration. How them guys was getting in and out of their trucks to leave the parking lot and go hunt, I will never know, because they were parked an inch away from each other's vehicles. They were absolutely packed out in the parking lot.
Must be a good piece of WMA.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been good. But, I ain't taking a chance on going there and getting shot. As many people as there was in there. It just ain't worth it to me. I mean, although they were 200 acres.
But the WMA, that piece was, a couple of them pieces we scouted were really nice.
Yeah, they were nice. They looked amazing.
And that's the reason why we probably had all the people there, because they were good pieces of property.
Plenty of time. Those people have probably been hunting there for years and years, But, that's how our turkey season went. You can talk to people from around here and ask them how it went, and they'll tell you the same exact thing.
Same story, same.
It's just a never-ending thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll kind of touch base on the upcoming season now.
Yeah.
Deer season. I'll let Austin go ahead and start you off on that.
So the upcoming season, we've been out a couple times already this year. We've put some mineral and all that good jazz out. update on the piece of private, that will be the only piece of private that we ever hunt. We are still out to hunt it. Me and Keegan just went up there just at the beginning of this month, and it's pretty cool encounter. Something you just don't see every day. Me and Keegan, if you don't follow us on Instagram, give us a follow. I'll link it in the description below. Me and Keegan was walking out through there. We just had stopped at the first site, and we're walking out through on that little bench. And Keegan's walking in front of me, and I'm like, "Hey, Keegan, look here at your feet." And there was a little fawn. He about stepped on the fawn. He didn't even see it. As far as I'm concerned, she was well.
She looked healthy.
Yeah, I'm sure mommy was around. We didn't mess with it. We just left it alone. We just went on about our way around the point to get to our other spot.
And I want to touch on that real quick. That's another thing. Y'all see a fawn out in the hills, especially some of you people that probably watch us, but that you don't hunt. Just don't mess with it.
The only time I will ever mess with a fawn is if it's completely alone and I know for a fact that mommy's not around.
Yeah.
And I will take it to a game warden. I'll call game warden and let him take care of it, and help
Because
him.
more than likely they'll take it to a wildlife refuge. That's not going to get hunted. That's controlled.
Yeah.
But just don't mess with them. Don't pick them up and move them unless you know. And I tell you a good way to know. And I seen this off another hunter's page on Instagram the other day. You can look at their ears and tell if they are healthy or not. If the edges of their ears are kind of wrinkled up, looks like they're drawing up, yeah, it's fine. Call a game warden and get something done with it, because that means that fawn has not ate or had any milk from its mom in a long while.
Yeah.
But if its ears are perfectly straight, and it got real fine edges on its ears, just leave it alone, because I promise you it's fine. It ain't nothing gonna happen to it. But go ahead. I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah, we're still up there feeding up there, mineral site, running cameras. Got some pretty good bucks, like we did last year. I think we've got two or three deer that made it through last year that we've already seen so far, and it's still early. Got plenty of time. We ain't even had a chance to get the camera out this year. Every time we've been scouting, which is a good thing, it's been raining. Keep away your scent. And I love, that's probably whenever I really like to get out, whenever it's raining, because it keeps the scent down. Zach, him and his buddy Caleb, they've had stuff out for 2 months now. Which is normally about how like we do, but we've been slacking.
Yeah, we've been slacking a lot.
Not really, because we're still months away from season. 1st of October or September 28th in West Virginia. But yeah, they've got good deer on camera. Good thing for them, they've got 12, 13 wireless cameras. I sit right here at the house, my phone dings all day, and I just sit and look at all the deer that they got. They've got some solid inventory coming. They've got some good bucks, that's for sure.
Bucks from last year, that's gotten a whole lot bigger.
Yeah.
And they're going to have some good ones.
I think, to also talk about this, still going to be hunting WMA too, ain't doubt about it. But we would love to spot and stock, but Keegan had bought a saddle. We tried it out. Me and Jordan were going to buy a saddle too, and there's going to be a lot of times that we're just going to go up on WMA. We're going to walk forever, find a sign, boom, we're going to pop up in a tree in a saddle.
And places that we've seen deer using to get from
Point A to point B.
Yeah, point A to point B, like they'll come from this valley field to water, or from bedding to this valley field, we're going to sit right there in that pinch point where we know they're going to cross. That's the good thing about a saddle too, if you haven't seen anybody.
It's the new way, right?
Yeah, it's the new way, and honestly, it's a good way.
Yeah, it really is. Because I like to run around the bench and run in the hills anyways. I like that running and gunning. I always have. It's definitely my style of hunting.
You can make it happen.
Yeah.
That's one thing about a stationary tree stand.
You can make it happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about a stationary tree stand too. Yeah, they're good, but when it comes at crunch time, late season, you want to make something happen. Spot stocking and a saddle is the best way to go.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll let Jordan touch base on some things that he's been looking at, some places he's been scouting, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've been kind of keeping an eye on WMA. You know, like I said just a few minutes ago, I like spot stock better than I do sitting in a tree stand. So I try to focus, you know, my early season scouting on WMA properties. You know, just getting out and glassing these big valley fields, just trying to find some inventory, and usually, you know, all the way up until the 1st and sometimes to mid-October. You know, some of these bucks will stay in their bachelor groups and they'll stay right on their summer pattern. You know, it really don't phase them. So that's what really me and Austin done last year too. We got out on a piece of WMA property, and it was that summer scout video that we posted. You get out and you find these bucks in their bachelor groups. I'm telling you, they'll stick around there. They'll stick around.
And
I'm telling you, in late season, go back there, because more than likely,
if there ain't no pressure, they'll stay there.
And but that's usually my main focus. You know, leading into the season is WMA property, and I just like it because there are so many options. You have so many deer to look forward to, and even at that, if you don't see, you know, you can see deer that you've never seen in your life before up there. You know, it don't matter how much you scout it. There's always going to be a new deer every time you hunt it. Every time you get on that piece of property, there's going to be a new deer.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about it. And those WMAs, I ain't trying to sound mean or anything like that, but a lot of people don't have enough want to get out on it, you know, because it's brutal. They ain't no driving. You can't have nothing motorized, nothing with wheels. You can't even take a bicycle out on it.
Boots to the ground.
You can't take a game cart out on it. It's boots to the ground, and you know, if you kill that deer 6 miles in, you dragging it 6 miles back to the vehicle. It don't matter. And that's a lot of people just don't have the want to in them to get out on it, and that's.
I don't blame you. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, first time we go out, we get killed. You know, we ain't really too fond of it either, but I mean, that's what it takes.
But whenever you see them deer and you see sugar bucks, it brings you back every time. It don't matter if, like I'm telling you, one day, me and Jordan, we walked 17 miles in one day, and we never hesitated to go back because of all the sugar deer that we seen that day. We just couldn't get up with, and we were just. It was really like our first time
year.
out. It was
the first year that we
hunted
hunted WMA. I think it was 2018.
Yeah, it was our first time out,
Yeah.
and we seen all them deer like that. Man, it just lit a fire, and I mean, we just kept going and going. We got close that year, but
you see a lot of them. You see a lot of good quality deer, and yeah, you learn a lot.
You learn a lot about deer habit, like habitat, like how they act in certain places. You just learn a lot, and you get to see a lot
because you're down with them. You're that phrase, you know, I'm gonna get in their bedroom. You know, when you hang a tree stand, no, you're gonna get in their bedroom when you're on your hands and knees, crawling 25, 30 yards away from their bedding area. You know, where you right there with them. You know, if you spook them and they turn the wrong way, you're gonna get ran over. I mean, that's the truth. But yeah, that's just my main focus, you know, leading into the season. It's just WMA property.
Also, I want to talk about some. Jordan actually bought a new camera, so we do have a new camera. We have 2 GoPros. We are also in the process of buying another camera setup.
And some more GoPros.
Some more GoPros, yeah. So, also just want to talk about the past season, about all the people that supported us and stuff like that. You know, us as a group, a team, we're very thankful for the people that stuck with us.
We can't express to y'all how much it means to us. We really can't.
You know, the main goal whenever we started this was not for the fame. It was just for the passion and love of the outdoors like we have. And it was, you know, even for just helping people. Like these summer scouting videos, I want them to help people see things differently, and, you know, and
people
think
that are just
how we
getting out. You know, people that are just getting started into it.
That's really the main thing. People getting started.
Although we haven't been into it a long time, I mean, you know, I'm sure we can help somebody that is just starting into, you know, just
because at one point in
kid,
time,
you know.
anybody that likes to hunt, you were once a kid once, and it was once one
You're
time
always
it was your
wanting to
first
learn.
time. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, we're very thankful for our little fan base. Everybody's been asking about apparel, and well,
We're trying
yeah, we're trying. We dropped the ball.
a few times.
Yeah, we had a spring edition T-shirt, but we
We never did really produce it and get it out to you guys.
and it was a sick shirt.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it really was. It was an awesome shirt.
Pretty awesome.
Hats are coming. There's going to be different, colors, camos.
Designs.
Gonna have the Richardson snapbacks, the just the regular ball cap, and there's going to be leather patches and stuff. It's going to be nice stuff. But eventually, we're working to that point. I mean, we're getting there because really, I like to have my own, our own apparel, and I'd love to see you guys wear it too. So, is there anything else you want to touch up on that?
Not really, besides, I mean, like you said with the new camera, I've kind of talked about some new equipment.
Oh, matter of fact, we used this camera this spring, and I can go ahead and tell you the video quality is way better.
The quality of the videos that we're going to be coming out with
It's going to be much better than
are
last
going to be amazing. You know, from going, and by no means the camera that we were using, by no means it was not cheap, and it was not a bad camera at all. But I'm telling you right now, this camera here is, I mean, it's one of the best of the best, you know. So if y'all notice the difference in the quality of the videos, bad or good, let us know, because we would really like to get some reviews on that. But y'all be seeing some more stuff this season coming up that we're going to be using that is new. I'm going to be trying out the Bowmore nose button, and what that'll do, it'll kind of help you with your anchoring points more. And when you're shooting a bow, that is one of the main keys, is your anchoring point. I will also be converting to Matthews this year. I'll be buying the V3.
Finally got smart.
Yeah, finally.
No hate towards any bow company. It's all personal
It's
opinion.
personal preference.
Yeah.
Elite's a great company. I mean, Elite's awesome.
I've owned 4 Elites.
Elite is an amazing company. If you want to talk to somebody about Elite, ask Chase Herman. He'll tell you. He shoots for them. They're amazing bows, and I'm sure he can point you in the right direction for what kind of bow to buy from them. But for us, it's Matthews or bust.
Yeah.
Also, the broadheads that we use, I don't know if we've ever covered those or talked about them in any videos, but as you can see from the videos, the blood trails that have been coming out of these deer are absolutely insane.
We'll just stick with the Rage brand.
Yeah,
Rage
Rage in general, but we like Rage Tritons. You know,
Zach was exploring last year. Zach shot
Yeah.
a Slacker. He shot Rage. He shot a couple little brands. He was just wanting to see,
just different companies.
happy
you know,
medium, see
differences.
what he liked. And that's fine. Like I said, we ain't sponsored by nobody, so it don't really matter.
Yeah, we don't get no money from nobody to talk about them, but
Yeah, so
we just let y'all know, what
This is
we
just-
shoot and what we like.
this is real life, real life stuff.
Yeah.
Just stuff that we believe in, stuff I've used in in the past years. I've shot gold tip arrows ever since I started bow hunting.
And Gold Tip I'll stand by them till the day I'm under the ground. They're amazing. You can look videos of them up on YouTube. They take them, bend them over, and touch them in the end.
They don't snap.
And you can take them and shoot them right out of your bow as soon as you get done doing that. But we might have some fishing videos coming to you guys as well.
Okay.
So you just keep a watch out for those. And we will definitely have a video, another one coming out this week on possibly a summer scout and showing y'all around some new spots. Maybe give y'all a sneak peek at some new deer. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But we'll keep y'all updated, and we appreciate y'all so much for watching and supporting. And we'll be having some apparel out for you guys. So y'all just stick with us. It's going to be another bumpy season, and it's going to be a long ride till we're finished with this stuff. So y'all just stay tuned. Thank you.